So who's starting this week then?
Well, we've done. Chris started the other day.
I started the other day.
Did you?
Well, only when you were there.
Well, there was no other Chris's, so we had to go with Chris.
When we were in.
What, you didn't tell me about this?
We were in the
Sorry.
Edgware.
Okay then.
We cheated on him.
Roll them titles. Ah! So where have you been this week, boys?
Oh,
Or
we
last week.
last week we went to see the lovely Steve Wayne down in Edgware and Bushy. Edgware and Bushy.
We went to see Steve. We had
Yes.
a couple of days with him, filming some awesome
Hold on a
content.
second. Did we actually say welcome to the Estate Agents and TV show?
Well,
We
welcome
did,
to-
didn't we?
Well, welcome to the Estate Agent Property.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Episode
back.
number 3.
Welcome
Three?
back. Welcome back. Okay, so yes, we were in Edgware and Bushy with Steve Wayne, and
That's the posh part of.
Well, I thought it was Shepherd's Bush, and all the locals were calling it Bushy, and he was
It's
like, "No, that's Shea Boo."
definitely not.
I was like, "Oh, Shea Boo,
Shea
not
Boo,
Bush." Yeah,
not
that's,
Bushy, Shea Boo.
that's what the locals call that.
But yeah, so we were with Steve, and later in the show we'll find out a bit more about what we were doing with him, because we recorded some stuff while we were there with Steve. So,
And fans of the show, you know we're a big fan of a shalom. We met a real life rabbi
So at
and
the end of the
interviewed him in
show-
a synagogue.
Yeah.
So we had a real life rabbi shalom. which
Maybe we could put that at the end.
at the end of the show. At the end of the show. At
the end of
the
the
end of the show. At the end of the show.
Good.
So, first up,
It was all Digimare stuff, wasn't it?
it was all Digimare stuff. Yeah, it was awesome. We had a great time.
Maybe we could tell the guys at home what Digimare is all about later in the show.
Okay.
We will. Okay, so
What's been happening in
what's
your
happening
world?
in property this week?
Well, the big story this week, and for the third episode in a row, Rightmove has really its ugly head, and the average
Ugly
amount.
head.
I thought we decided it was good value for money.
Good value for money.
Yeah, well, they've just released last week, they've just released their figures, and the average earn per office is £940 per agent.
Is that a week or a
That's
month?
a month.
How many agents roughly in the UK?
I think it's about 18,000 actually use them
Okay.
on average.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of money.
That's per month.
That's a lot of money per month.
I know we talked about it in the previous episode, but as you can see on this graph here, since 2006, the average Rightmove agent has paid, back in 2006 it was £183, and now it's £940, which is a rise of 413%.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if Rightmove figures have gone up by inflation, today they would only be worth £257.
But then we did say, though, that in comparison to traditional advertising in newspapers, whatever, hundreds of pounds per week per newspaper or what have you, we actually worked out that it would probably cost you more to do that today than it would have, than even you do pay Rightmove now, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, let's be honest. Google looked at trying to beat Rightmove and they walked away. I think the biggest fear, of Rightmove is Facebook. And I do know there's a lot of estate agents out there, not many, but a lot, who are actually using Rightmove to deliver their properties to the punters in their area. And we've got a lot of great news stories out there about that.
Just FYI, did you just graph on my face?
And I don't know, it depends where you drop it in. If you know any good videographers.
I know one.
I know one.
Yeah.
So I'm not
We know
sure.
one each.
We know one each. Is that you or me?
I don't know.
Again, I think it really comes, we've said this last week, it really comes down to what you see Rightmove as.
Yeah.
Do you use it as a shop front to get your properties out there? And if you see it that way, it's great value for money. I think the extras are not worth a penny, apart from featured agent, but that's another story.
That's your opinion.
It's just my opinion, for what it's worth.
Bringing it back to video, but also still property.
On the property show.
On the
Bring it back to video.
Bring it back to video. But also property.
Yeah.
Interesting you say Facebook obviously being the biggest fear of Rightmove, because obviously Facebook is driving huge volumes of traffic to people's websites and also driving huge volumes of people to agencies. So last week in the show we spoke about our Sheffield film that we did with Maz at Sheffield Residential, and said that we were going to show some of the figures this week for that.
Cut to the chase, let's see the numbers.
Okay, so the numbers are week one. This is 1 week of figures for the release.
Okay.
Okay, so Twitter impressions 18,000.
Don't tell me. Tell me.
18,823, 4,328 LinkedIn views, a Facebook reach of 28,408, and 9,355 views of their full film. Okay, in a week. So if you think about a traditional advert, would you get hyper-local people of that
Have the
volume
guys
of
seen this film yet?
No, we're going to drop it in.
They might have. It's on Facebook.
Some people might have seen it, but let's have a look at the trailer for the film just to see the sort of calibre of people that took part.
Run BT.
I love Sheffield.
I love Sheffield.
I love Sheffield.
I love Sheffield because it's a proud, innovative and thriving city.
I love Sheffield because as well as it being a big city, it really has got that small village feel to it.
I love Sheffield because it's a great place to invest in property.
I love Sheffield because it's a fantastic destination for both tourists and shoppers.
It's got fantastic community spirit.
Love that backing track there.
It's good.
Yeah, and it's not just
So what are you trying to achieve by these love films?
Trying to get more eyeballs on the agent's agency,
Yeah.
and it's. Some people say stealth marketing, but it's not. It's about love. It links in with your Digimare. It's like love the place you are and where you
Be
live.
the face of your place. That's what we like to say now.
Yeah.
The face of your place. But yeah, and in addition, we showed the Wrexham film in last week's episode, just the teaser. Yeah, and just
There'll be a link to that at the end of the film.
that was brand new, the Wrexham one, and week one.
Well, I got bored of the amount of people that were commenting on the film and the praise he was getting.
The first week.
I had to switch it off.
First week, Belvoir, Beaver if you want them, Belvoir, Wrexham. First week's figures 10,000 views for the teaser.
Okay.
10,000.
The thing is, though, is that you can just keep rolling that out every month. And people love it.
18 months shelf life.
Keep sharing.
Share it every month.
And also, as Chris, my learned friend and partner, will tell you, there's a method called the ABC method that they use in print journalism, and it's to do with if Chris is going out and buying the paper on a Sunday morning, and Chris and I are working with him Sunday afternoon, and he brings the Sunday Times with him. He's bought the paper, so that's counted as one readership. But Chris and I would maybe have a flick through the paper while we're having our meeting, whether it's the sport, the money section,
whatever it might be. Yeah, and so basically what ABC basically say that for every single copy sold, around 2.5 people see that copy, and it's the same in a way for your digital marketing because.
We'll say 10,000 unique views.
10,000 unique views, but some people might watch it twice. Some people might show it to their friend while they're showing on their device. That is 10,000 unique devices
that are viewing it.
So it probably is more like 20,000-ish people that.
Okay. Well, let's keep an eye on them. They do work. What's next up?
So I think next up you want to talk about the EA Masters. You have been with Peter Knight.
Been with Peter Knight. He's head of Property Academy. He's also founder of the Sunday Times Awards, and last year they'd been the Sunday Times and started this EA Masters and Best Agent Guide.
Why did they been the Sunday Times Awards?
Well, in the video, we'll show a bit of it in a second. He talked about it was pretty self-selecting, is in the fact that the only people that could be judged were the ones that actually put themselves up for the awards. And he wanted an awards ceremony where it included everyone. So basically, everyone on Rightmove goes into this awards ceremony. And if you're not on Rightmove, you can self-select and put your own application in.
Shall we hear from Peter?
Yeah, let's have a look. Peter, you're head of Best Agent Guide. What makes the Best Agent Guide so different to all the other awards?
Well, we set the Best Estate Agent Guide up last year, following 15 years of running the Sunday Times Awards.
Because they were good.
Thank you, and we thought they were too. But the thing was, we were only ever able to get, at peak, a third of the market to be engaged with it. And that, by the way, is 3 times any of the other awards. My understanding is that the others get at best about 10% of agents. So we tried everything we knew to get more and more people involved, and unfortunately we just couldn't get any significant increase. And I wanted it to be whole of market. I think if it's going to be really, really representative of what is going on, it shouldn't just be those agents that elect to enter or pay to enter or whatever combination. We wanted to do whole of market. That was the absolute key thing. So with some trepidation to begin with, and 1 or 2 people thought I was completely barking, we retired the Sunday Times Awards and set up the Best Estate Agent Guide. And this year we've gone even further. So last year we assessed the top 40% of branches. This year we've actually assessed every single branch right across Britain.
How many branches have you within a ballpark?
So it's
must be at least 20,000.
Oh God, it's 20. I wanted to give you the exact figure. It's about 25,000,
Wow.
and that have been included within the entire business. Now, I have to say that we count a sales and lettings operation twice if they're from the same branch. So some businesses have separate offices for those, and those that combine them, if they've got one branch that does sales and lettings, we count that twice because we feel that's a more appropriate way of going about it. I mean, to put it another way, there's about 15,000 brands or agencies in total.
So how exactly have you tested and weighed and measured these agents?
Okay, so we did 3 things to do this, and we've revised again from last year. We've taken on a lot of the comments that were made from last year. So the first thing we did was a consumer initiative. So as you know from our surveys over the years, we've asked consumers who are thinking of moving or actually in the process of moving what matters to them about the whole process, what's really important to them. The second thing we did was we asked the industry. So we went out and interviewed several hundred different estate agents about the whole process, what they felt was important. And I said we did that, the Property Academy did that, and Rightmove did it as well. So we married our 2 pieces of research and started off by saying, okay, what do the consumers want? What is it that the agents want? And we found that broadly speaking, we'd come up with the same answers. So we then mapped out, based on what others have said, or those 2 groups have said are important, a series of questions to interrogate data with. And Rightmove basically interrogated all of their data to understand things such as, did a property sell? Yes or no? Did it let? Yes or no? How long did it take? Yeah. And so on and so forth. And all of the data assessment was done on a comparable basis with peer groups in a location. So, we're sitting here in an office in Earl's Court. Earl's Court agents were compared with Earl's Court agents, whereas Merthyr Tydfil agents were compared with Merthyr Tydfil and Aberdeen with Aberdeen.
Because that was one of the biggest criticisms of last year's, is how can you compare someone in the north to the south, because there's different markets.
Well, we did do that last year. I don't think we got that message across very, very clearly, but we did do that from the start.
Because a lot of agents were worried that Rightmove were giving all their data away to you.
Yeah, we had that point. Thanks for the opportunity to emphasise again, we never had the data. What we got was the score. So Rightmove basically, we set a series of questions, and we did it collaboratively. I mean, Rightmove were really, really insightful and helpful in terms of coming up with this different methodology. We came up with the questions. They then gave us the scores for the branches. We then did 50,000 mystery shops. So we telephoned and we emailed every single branch to find out basically what the service levels were like.
That sounded very expensive to do.
It was. It is.
Because nobody's paying to enter this,
Correct.
are they?
Correct.
So was that a reason for not to, you're outlaying all this money and no one's paying to join, to get involved? It doesn't sound like it stacks up.
I refer to my earlier comment when people thought I was barking. Look, we're a commercial organisation, as indeed every estate agent is that I'm aware of. We have a commercial aspect to this, but it was never ever our principal driver. Indeed, the whole business has always worked on the premise that if you do the right thing and genuinely do, if you like, fulfil your purpose, and our purpose is to inspire people to fulfil their potential.
Our being you personally, or the Property Academy?
The Property Academy and the colleagues that I work with, the 2 people I work with, and that's been our driver. And we believe, and it's been proven to date, that if we do the right thing and do it well, then the money will follow. But I'm not, attempting to become or appear to be philanthropic about this. We do make money from it, absolutely. But the way we make money from it is rather than forcing people into doing anything, we carry out the assessment at our cost, we carry out all the mystery shops at our cost, we carry out the analysis at our cost. We then provide the best estate agent guide for consumers looking to either rent or let out their property or to sell their property. We provide that for free of charge. Every single estate agent that makes the best estate agent guide that appears within it for free. So everything's done for free, which some people have a real problem with, Chris, which is really surprises me, because they go, well, you just done it for the money. I go, well, no, we're doing all of this for free. Now, if they then wish to...
Well, they're not in it for free, are they?
Well, exactly. If they then wish to, and this is the key thing, if they want to, and they see the value in being able to market their attainment, and luckily, perhaps, I say luckily, maybe that's not the right word, but enough agents have done so, and the reports they've given back to me from last year was to say, it's been excellent, at a time where they're under massive pressure to substantiate fees, for example. When someone's thinking of selling a house and they go, why would I pay you twice what I could pay 3 times, 4 times what I could pay somebody else? They're able to point to this and say, look, we've been independently assessed as being the best agent in this particular area. And I've had feedback from many different agents to say that that's been for them a fantastic marketing tool and an enabler to substantiate a fee.
Really interesting. And actually changing something that was a winning format.
I think it took balls.
It did take balls. Yeah, to scrap something that was already successful and change it. I think it's taken some real guts to... But clearly it's going to be really effective.
Well, the event is in October.
You going?
Yes, on the 11th and 12th. Even if you're not in the best agent guide, there's lots to learn there.
Okay. So coming back to DigiMayor then, we said earlier on in the show that we were going to talk about Digital Mayor. What we've been doing with Steve and Edgware for the last couple of days is DigiMayor. So let's have a quick look at what Steve thinks of video in his area.
Well, look who we've got
with us. So we've got our good friend Steve. We've been in Bushy and in Edgware doing some filming as part of really our programme to push the Digital Mayor and becoming part of your community in the face of your place. So Steve, what have we been doing over the last few days?
So we've been out and about. We've been to both areas. We've been to hairdressers. We've been... where have we been?
Went to synagogue this morning.
We went to synagogue. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. Shalom. We've been to speak to solicitors. We've been to speak to a local mortgage broker. Yeah. And we've just been out and about meeting local people and talking to them.
What do you think it is, Steve, about this idea of becoming the Digital Mayor? Obviously, it's not a new concept, but it's something that obviously we're really pushing forward in terms of video content, and something that big advocates of social media and also big advocates of content marketing are really driving forward.
Yeah, look, it's great. Even as we were filming, our awareness was growing. We were talking to people in the street, what's going on, and it's going to be on social media. Oh, brilliant, I'll add you on Facebook. And it's just a great way without selling yourself.
That's right.
Selling yourself.
Yeah, of course. And then, obviously, these people will see your face. Other people in the community will see your face. And we've been doing all sorts of different types of content marketing with agencies across the country. But I mean, what would you say to people thinking about doing this sort of project?
I think you boys know especially, I didn't want to do this. When you guys, I came on your course and it was alright and I did a few videos, but this is the next level. I'm confident you guys have made it very easy for me.
Man. Good. And actually, just for the guys out there that are thinking of getting more into the community and doing more stuff like this, what do you say to people to make it happen? Roseanne, one of your employees, set all this up, but
she was great. But you've just got to start it. I think that's with everything in business. My advice to everyone in regards to anything in business is just start it, just do it. You can talk.
JFDI.
You can talk about it. You can procrastinate about it, but just get out there, do it, make some videos, and just get on with it.
And from today also, people have been willing to let you into their businesses because it's free promo for them.
Today we went to the Canons Drive estate, which is normally you can only get in there if you live on the estate, and we've got in there and it's amazing the doors which this will open for us.
Yeah. It is quite amazing. we say this all the time, like, you know, when you start adding cameras in and people are like, ooh, production, you know, and they start seeing big cameras, microphones, all that sort of stuff, you'd think people would recoil, but actually they don't, do they?
No, people are coming up to us asking what's going on, why is this, and people know us, and they're like, oh, why are you there? And suddenly they're looking at our business in a whole different way.
Yeah, I think fantastic. Well, we'll be editing the film over the next few weeks, and then we'll drop in a couple of examples just to show what we've actually been doing with Steve over the coming weeks and months as Steve releases them to the public. So, I mean, thanks for having us for a couple of days,
Thanks
Steve.
for having you guys. It's been great.
Cheers for coming on the Prop Show.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
See you later,
in a
guys.
bit. Bye.
So that interview with Steve kind of pieced the camera.
Where was I?
You were here.
Yeah.
You didn't come with us to Edgware, did you?
No.
We left you behind.
It was a stepmother's birthday, so.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, but yeah, I mean, basically, becoming the face of your place.
I went down to London.
Did you go to the Champagne?
Yes, I did. Yes.
But yeah, basically just becoming the face of your place, becoming the digital mayor, looking at people, again, Mike Tom Panos, Gary Vaynerchuk, who was saying what you want to do is not just talk about your market, not just talk about your business, but talk about every business, talk about where you're from, because as we say, estate and letting agents are very fortunate to be hyper-local already.
Yeah, I mean, digital mayor, in plain and simple terms, is you need the attention and the engagement of people in your locality to listen to what you have to say. So when they do need an estate agent or letting agent, they're going to use you. So you read any books, you listen to any videos, people say they start looking for an estate agent 6-12 months time. But what most estate agents do with their marketing is they're trying to just get that person just at the end when they're just about to pick the phone up for a free valuation. No, you have to get the name of your agency inside their head 6-12 months before. And the best way to do that is think of a Trojan horse in the city of Troy. You need a Trojan horse to get inside their head.
It's as old as Greek mythology.
It is. So what you do is, instead of talking about yourself or your firm or your services, which no one really gives a flying monkeys about,
Except you and your mum.
apart from you and your mum, instead of trying to create like a competitive advantage, saying we're better than anyone else because of this, this, and this. Don't talk about that. Talk about stuff that is, if you live in Grantham, talk about stuff that's of interest to people in Grantham, which is why it's so brilliant, why it's a great place to live, why it's a great place to invest, why it's a great place to work, who are the characters.
And it's easier than you think, because like we were talking to Steve, and how do you go about getting these interviews? Then just pop into any shop, butchers, bakers, candlestick makers, like Chris to say. Yeah. And who doesn't want free promo? Who doesn't want a quick interview about the new coffee shop?
Yeah, and not even just the new coffee shop. It doesn't even have to be.
I mean, look at Luke Sinclair.
Yeah.
Luke Sinclair.
He's going to be here next week.
All being well.
Well, not next week, the week after.
Yeah. He's in the States at the minute.
Yeah, he's at Disneyland.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was in Australia and people were stopping him in the streets in Australia saying, I love the videos about what you do in Leicester.
Wow.
Leicester, Sydney, Melbourne.
And then I was talking to Richard Rawlings and he was talking about what Emma does from Chelmsford.
Yeah.
Emma Roberts,
and totally out of the blue, he says, I love what Emma does, because what she does is she goes on to Rightmove twice a week and basically picks what she considers is the very best buy-to-let deal there is, irrespective of which agent is selling.
But you become a mini celeb. I mean, people like Adam Mackay, you know, when we were filming with him a couple of months ago, people were stopping him in the street, and now people are coming to me, oh, you're the guy, you know, and it is a bit like that.
People are talking about you, they're remarking about you. So what you do is, it's a bit like, let's be honest, I see trying to get free valuations and properties on the market a bit like dating. Now, if you went on your first date and locked it all out on the table, said, hey, up missus, let's get married and look how big my willy is, no one's going to, you're not going to get to the second date.
No.
But that's what agents are doing with their bloody marketing.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
Yeah, you've got to be interested in them. Yeah.
So you talk about stuff they're interested in, which is the town. They become interested in you, and then you can.
Well, yeah.
Well, look at your local newspaper. It's not the most exciting newspaper on the market.
That rubbish. Grantham Journal's appalling.
Yeah, but people buy it because they like to know what's going on, who's gone to jail, what the sports team are doing, you know, this, that, and the other.
Opinion. That's your opinion. That it's...
We like the Grantham Journal.
Hey, it's still blind the bloody thing.
Yeah, I like Grantham.
Well, it's true, yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, well, that's pretty much.
I think we'll carry on talking about this in future episodes.
I think we will, but I think that's.
Google it as well.
Yeah, do Google it. Have a look at some of Chris's stuff on LinkedIn. Have a look at some of Chris's stuff on the YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think we'll say cheers and.
Oh, free stuff.
Oh yeah.
Nathan was here last week.
Nathan Emerson was here last week.
And
we mentioned Wondome!
For the mother's pride.
Wondome! And yeah, we've got the Wondome sunglasses. And
anyway, turns out someone at Wondome was watching the show.
So hi Wondome.
And they said they might send us some freebies for our wall of wonder.
I don't think they're going to beat the Wondome specs though.
No, true. Yeah.
So let's say a goodbye, shall we?
I want to talk about hubs.
Oh, we talk about hubs.
We missed hubs.
Oh, we missed out hubs.
Go on then, let's do hubs.
Let's talk about hubs.
We got time.
We've got time. I'll make it quick.
Go on then. Talk about hubs.
Hubs is the new
What
thing,
is
right?
hubs? What are hubs?
Well, interestingly, last week, 2 agents announced that they were closing their high street offices operations down.
Sure.
One was Howard Cundy in Kent and Sussex, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And the other one was Humberts.
Right.
What actual Humberts?
Yeah.
The real Humberts.
Yes, the real posh people.
What agencies? What high street agencies are closing?
They're closing their high street operations.
All of them?
Yes, and they're moving them into hubs.
Right.
To be shared with...
No, so basically out of office locations where you have self-employed and employed people. The employed people will be in the office doing the administrative roles, and the self-employed people will be going out to get the business.
Like Perry Power.
Perry Power does it, and we've also told you who's a big fan of the show, Sean Newman from Fire Country.
Ah, Sean. Hi, Sean.
We want you on the show.
FYI, Sean, your daughter and Matt are pulling up some amazing trees at the minute.
Oh, the $1 million listing.
They came on our course a little while ago, and honestly, the stuff they're turning out is brilliant. If you haven't seen any of Matt and Summer's stuff, go and have a look at it. It is really, really, really good.
Maybe we could just put like a quick 30-second clip in here.
I can't because it's not ours.
Copyright.
It's copyrighted. We don't own it. But we can tell you to seek it out, find it. It is brilliant. There's an awesome film that...
I'll put a link to it on the YouTube
on the tube. Okay? Are you happy? We talked about hubs?
Yes.
Should we go into more detail next week?
Yeah, let's go into more detail next week.
In a couple of weeks' time.
Okay, cool. Right, guys. Well, thanks a million for watching the show. And let's cut to Edgware for a goodbye.
Shalom.
Shalom.